is a presentation of Real Wise Productions and Comey Media Incorporated. What constitutes a beta male, and what do you need to be accountable for your own actions? Next on Mentality. Welcome to another installment and episode of Mentality, where we are iron sharpening iron in the areas of entrepreneurship, health, mental health, love, and brotherhood. I am one of the co-hosts of this show, Cole Johnson, and is joined always by the other co-host, the one who goes by Mr. Wize El Jefe. How you doing, man?
What's going on, my brother?
Everything is wonderful. Everything is great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Can't complain.
Now we start with a story from Men's Health. Actually, all of the rundown stories are from Men's Health. I'm sorry, Ask Men, my bad. All stories are from Ask Men. And this one talks about how to quit drinking, and it is according to 8 different men who succeeded in doing so. Now, studies show that more and more people are trying to eliminate booze from their life. And obviously, this single change would benefit physical and mental health with anybody, man or woman. Now, for many people, giving up alcohol is not necessarily a linear journey. It is one that could probably take many different twists, turns, and chaotic paths, I guess you could say. You've talked about having issues with the bottle. You don't have it anymore. So what are some tips would you recommend in kicking the habit of being addicted to alcohol?
But the thing was, I wasn't addicted to alcohol. I
Yeah.
used it to mask
Hmm.
my grief. Like I used it as a crutch.
Right.
But no, there are people out there that are addicted to alcohol that have a serious problem that don't know how to kick it, even though it's killing them.
Yeah.
My brother is a prime example of that. He's been told on numerous occasions by the doctors that he has cirrhosis of the liver, but he insists on drinking.
Oh no.
It's situations like that where when is enough enough? Like, when do you tell yourself that you have a serious problem and you need to really give up the bottle?
Man, I hate hearing that. For anybody to go through that, because I've learned it could be quite a disease. I've never really suffered from it. The closest I can remember anyone suffering from it and suffering from the grips of addiction would be my late great uncle. He didn't die from it, but when I was a teenager, he did a spoken word to the song "That's What Friends Are For," and it was well worded because you were thinking he was talking about having an illicit affair with a woman, and he was married, of course. And you would think, okay, he's trying to tell a story of, oh, he cheated on my aunt. How dare he? And at the end, you learn that he's not talking about a woman; he's talking about the bottle.
Mm.
And we were all proud of him for doing that song and actually displaying the strength to walk away from alcohol. But yeah, it yeah, it is a disease that could just simply just grip people. And I'm glad you weren't addicted per se, but I'm also glad you were honest enough to say I use this like people use food or other people or work or any other thing to mask when you're in pain. So yeah, kudos to you to learn that about yourself and to no longer do that. Now, how long does it take to get over a breakup? Yes, I know this is a men's show. We're talking about breakups. Normally, with men, we don't do breakups. We just simply trace over people and just misuse them, and that's how we get over them.
Yes, some of
But
us
to
do that. Yes,
yeah,
we
but
discussed
how,
that last episode. Yes,
yeah, yes, we discussed that in the previous episode, and both of us were guilty of doing so.
yes.
But to healthily do so is what we're talking about here. So you might find yourself having a stretch of hours or even days where you manage not to think about your ex, only to all of a sudden, at a moment's notice, have something trigger to where that's all you're thinking about and that's all who you're thinking about. Now, how long will it take to get over a breakup? Well, it depends on the person. Now, I remember
Yeah.
hearing, if we were going to do this from the experts, I remember hearing from a couple of psychiatrists that they say that it takes roughly 18 months for you to really healthily get past the pain of an ex. And I have lived that out because that 18-month span was absolutely true for me. It was that long period of time where I healed fully and I didn't feel as though I was living the life of wanting to just rid myself of the pain of the ex. So with you, what are ways that you have found closure with a soon to be ex girlfriend in your past? Okay, let me rephrase. What are the healthy ways you have found closure with a soon to be ex girlfriend?
Oh, healthy way. Oh
Hmm.
man, I've had a couple of healthy breakups.
Hmm.
Well, majority of them are healthy. It's never really been where it was this I was distraught or anything like that. It was probably we just didn't see eye to eye anymore. Just the relationship didn't work, and we
Yeah.
decided to part ways. It was usually mutual and just I've really well, I can't say well it wasn't technically a bad breakup because
Hmm.
we weren't really together,
Right.
but it's still it's for the most part a healthy way is listen accept that you guys aren't compatible, that you're just not meant to be together, and move on. It's not going to be easy, but you need to focus. Problem is that for a lot of times the guys they want to love someone else,
Hmm.
but they still haven't discovered how to love themselves.
That is a wisdom bomb. There was one.
But it's the truth. A lot of us
Hmm.
guys expect women to love us a certain way, but yet we don't know how to love ourselves. We don't know how to take care of number one,
Yeah.
yourself,
Hmm.
and you can't expect to have a healthy relationship if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself.
Now, how to be a man's man in a culture that hates masculinity, but well, let me phrase it in the way that my co-host slash brother and another person I consider a brother, Poppy J, phrases it. How to be a man's man in a culture that is attacking men. Now there's many ways that this article says that you could be that. You could be stoic, you can be brave, you could be chivalrous, you could be skillful, you could be a leader, you could be a good listener, and you could be an individual. Now,
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything about emotions or being vulnerable? Why is that? Why is not? Why is vulnerable not
Ooh.
associated with masculinity?
Oh, I am so glad you asked that question. We're definitely going to talk a little bit more about this in the next segment. But to answer your question right away, and of course, you know the answer to this question, people do not regard vulnerability as a masculine trait. They regard it as a feminine trait, just like they do forgiveness, just like they do being emotional, just like they do showing emotion. They consider that to be a weak thing a man shows.
And who are these men that say this? That who
Look, that your guess is as good as mine, but you have heard you've heard it from some. You probably grew up under the household of others,
Yeah.
or you have been in the house of those who believe it when you were younger. I know I was. And no way in shape form was it my father, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no.
And that was the question I was going to ask, and you asked it beautifully, and you must know me well, because that's the one thing I wanted to focus on, because I'm like, okay, it's basically saying what we can do in terms of action, but it doesn't say anything in terms of being whole, because vulnerability means wholeness in a human being. Forget a man, a human being.
Yeah.
And for example, the two of us, I know you are a man's man, and I'm a man's man, and you know that.
Yeah.
But the one quality that made me understand that you are strong in your masculinity is the fact you're vulnerable. You do have no filter in terms of, I'm not talking about your mouth. I'm talking about, you have no filter in terms of your heart. That there is, at least with me, there is no subject taboo for me to touch with you. There is no place that is off limits for me with you. And very few men that I know can be that way and have been that way with me. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And that's how I knew. That's what I knew this platform could work, because if that's the case with you, I know that's going to be the case with me, because I'm an open book.
Yeah.
So, and when you are vulnerable, that means you can dig deeper into yourself as a man, and you can own true masculinity.
Yeah.
And and that's really what's about. That's really what's about, owning true masculinity.
Because it was crazy, because it was crazy that you even brought it up, because I saw a clip with John Majors, and the lady who was interviewing him asked him what why is the people saying you're not masculine enough or whatever, da, da, da. And he goes, who is it, the fellas, the people from the hood, like is the like basically, is it the brothers
Hmm.
saying this? He's saying, I guarantee you though, I'm sure none of them will want to see me walking down a dark alley. So
Heck no.
because just because of the him willing to be vulnerable, him willing to go, and he posed for a magazine and had a pink fur coat or something on, whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's sure of his masculine. He knows he is a man. He knows,
Right.
like,
Hmm.
just because I show emotions, just because I want to do certain things, does not make me less of a man. And he
Exactly.
points, says, listen, I guarantee y'all, none of y'all want to see me walking down a dark alley.
Hmm.
Which you
I'm
don't, because John Majors is a beast.
Oh yeah, he's cock diesel. But I mean, and I subscribe to the Roy Jones Jr. school of manhood. When it and and this isn't a brag. And you said this. You said something similar to me. This is the brag when he actually said the statement, when Jim Lampy interviewed him. He says, "Look, I am a nice guy, but I'm awful crucial with these hands." And both you and I have the same philosophy. We don't want that type of drama, but you
Mm,
bring it, we'll finish it.
yeah.
But we don't want to do that.
That's
We
not our
want to.
intentions.
No.
If we can resolve the issues without resorting to violence, we're fine with that. But
Right.
now, if y'all push us to the edge and y'all push us to that limit, we're fine with that as well.
Yeah.
There's no, we have no problem with
Mm-mm.
with
No,
giving
I
out these
don't.
hands.
Yeah. I,
We're just getting started. Mentality will return. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. What's on E. Dicka's mind?
A and B, I'm going to see my way out of it. Because why? I don't care. I have a message for people who do nothing but complain about black people. We can't change who we are. You call the cops on me? I think that every time you call the cop on someone on a false accusation, your need to be a little bit punished.
BS3 Network proudly presents a man with a lot to say and is unabashed to say it. What's on E. Digger's mind? Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
welcome back to Mentality, where this is a show which is created for all men. With Wize El Jefe, I'm Cole Johnson, and a little inside baseball and a little full disclosure here. Tuesday morning, I DM Wize and I say to him, "Man, I'm itching to record this episode. I'm itching to do it." Now, mind you, both of us have other shows that we do of our own.
Yes.
But I actually said to him, I'm itching to record this episode, and the following subject is why. And what is that subject? Well, welcome to the renamed and rechristened version of this segment. Instead of Hollywood style, it is now celebrity style. Now, let's go back about a month, and this was when Rihanna stepped on the stage in the Super Bowl halftime show and performed her many of hits in a 13-minute span while showing a baby bump. Yeah, that's right. Rihanna is pregnant again, and that was cool. And a lot of the fanfare went toward her because, well, now she wants to dip her toe back into the music waters for the first time in roughly seven or so years. Now, it's not really about her. It's about her boyfriend / baby daddy. Yes. So Rihanna and her baby daddy and their son, and of course, the baby daddy is A$AP Rocky, hip hop artist.
Yeah.
They were on the cover of British Vogue. And I look at this and I find this to be absolutely hilarious. Why are people quick to point out that A$AP Rocky is a beta male?
You're gonna have to bleep this out. What the?
I think it would.
What the is a beta male? Like, what's all these fucking labels, man? I'm hearing Sigma male, beta male, alpha male. I could give a man. What's here? We continue with these labels. This is what we do. We're a society of labels.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, we are society.
We have society of labels. Oh, because he's showing affection to his son. Because he's what's wrong with some of you people? It's catering to women. She's showing the strength of a woman. Yeah, her man's behind. You people need to stop it. Stop. Just need to stop because it's ridiculous that off of a cover of British Vogue, which is catered to women,
right?
He's a beta male because he's in the background, showing love to his son, showing affection to his girl.
Yeah.
No, that's a man's man. That's a man.
That is a man's man.
That's
exactly.
a man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's a submissive, nurturing, feminine man. What type of crap is that, man? Really?
It's just another way. It's just another way for us. And I guarantee you, the people who said this is probably another man of color. Men are afraid. Men are afraid of what people think of them. They're afraid to be labeled a nurturing, caring man because again, that's a sign of weakness, which is bull.
It is.
It's completely bull.
It is.
To me, that's why this with labels and alpha, beta, man. Please, man, because I wish somebody called me a beta and test me, because you will get the alpha to come out of me. So don't play with me. So it's just ridiculous that just because he shows a nurturing, caring side doesn't make him weak. Because I show a nurturing, caring side. You see me with my grandson. I'm hugging and kissing him all the time. I love him.
And I hope you would. It would be ridiculous if you would be stiff upper lip to your grandson, not showing him love and not showing him love as a man should.
It's ridiculous. It's just
it is.
They're idiots, and again, it's just another way to divide people. Is another way of men hating on each other by saying, "Oh, you're a beta man because you show love and you do this and you do that." Man, listen. I wish somebody would test my gangster. I wish.
I wish somebody would, my man says. But see, to me, I'm looking at that picture, man. I'm celebrating this dude holding his son in his hand and kissing him, and at the same time showing support and love to this woman.
You know what it is? They want that relationship to fail. They can't see. That's the thing. They want that's one thing. They want the black and brown relationships to fail. They don't want us to be with our queens, empowering each other, lifting each other up, because it's easier to control us that way. It's easier. One thing I've learned this week or something: single women spend the most dollars.
Yes, they do.
So of course, their agenda is to keep us single. It's to divide and by
literally divide and conquer.
Yeah, and by saying that he's a weak man because he's nurturing and caring and showing love, that's just another way of them trying to divide us. Saying like, "Oh yeah, you're right. He is a weak." Nah, you're weak for even thinking that. If you even think that, you're just a weak person. You're a weak-minded person, and you're letting people label you. Yeah. And that's just, if you want to be labeled, that's on you. Hey, there's no labels for me. No, I'm who I am. I'm me.
Right. Yeah, because me, I'm looking at that picture. I'm like, Dude, man, I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for Rihanna too, because you showing love to this woman, and this woman's accepting your love. So to me, where's the celebration in ASAP Rocky holding his child in one hand and his woman with the other?
There is none. There is none. There is none. That's the problem. That's the problem. Because I guarantee you, the people that were making fun of it are people like me and you, people of color.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about, oh, he can't be in the hood like that. He can't be, man. That's what y'all. The mistake is with a lot of y'all. Y'all think that I really care about going back to the hood. No, I love.
No.
Listen, I was raised where I was raised. It happened, but I'm not trying to go back.
No,
I'll go. If it's nothing. I would love to uplift everyone again, but there's just certain people that just don't want to leave the hood, and then and they don't want to see other people leave, and they want to talk about them, and he's not masculine, whatever, man, whatever.
Yeah. Look,
ASAP, keep doing your family thing, keep supporting your baby mama, keep showing your kids love. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Heck no, ain't nothing wrong with that. No, it's definitely nothing wrong with that. And I want you to continue to show that. I want you to continue to have those types of moments, because I guarantee you pouring your woman like that, I guarantee you, Rihanna would be the type to break her neck to do the same thing for him.
Mentality will be back in 2 and 2. Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meat of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central. Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 Network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central.
Fifth Ward, Houston, Texas. That's where I grew up, and I enjoy the lessons I learned there. I never want to return there, and it's not because I'm ashamed of the place. It's because I know that it's not a place for a human being to live in, and there's many of those places all throughout the United States. That's just one of them, and that's just one of in the city of Houston.
And that's the problem with some of these rappers. Like they go back to the hood, and you keep forgetting, that homeboy up the block don't got the money you got. And he quick to with the trigger. He quick to get the gun and snatch whatever you got from. So all this nonsense about beta males and listen, leave the man alone. Let him enjoy his family, enjoy his life. And all you people hating on that need to go kick rocks.
This is a prime example, and you said it earlier. This is a prime example of men, especially black men, who would almost literally kill one another, and I really do mean literally kill one another to trade places with ASAP Rocky and say, yeah, I want to be the one that's smashing Rihanna's juice box. Okay, fine. You probably would be that, but you ain't. You ain't. And be proud of the guy who is. And try to find your own Rihanna.
Yeah, stop hating, man. Fine. Like, we just need to work together. That's the problem, man. That's the problem. It's and that's something we're trying to work on, is to show that men of color can work together and build something successful and not hate on each other, and motivate each other, inspire each other. That's why we do this show. It's to show y'all that we can come together and work hard together and be respectful, and we joke around and we have a great time, but we have a great relationship.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people, that's something you guys who are making fun of this, that's what you're lacking. Is some great relationships. Is relationships with other men that you're able to be vulnerable with.
Yeah. Because guaranteed, and I'll say this really slowly for those who really can't understand it, being vulnerable as a man actually makes you more masculine. Why? Because it means that you could tap deeper within who you are, and you could be assured of who you are. Because you know what masculinity truly is? Confidence in your own humanity. That is what masculinity, true masculinity, is.
Being afraid to be who you are. Being yourself.
Fully, yes, being fully.
If you're a loving, caring person, be that loving, caring person. Don't be afraid of what Bob, Jim, and Jack are gonna think of you. Them.
Right.
Be who you are. Be happy. There's no this nonsense with you need to be like Nick Cannon and have 20 million baby mamas. Man, that's just ridiculous, man. Like, is that masculine? Being having 20 different kids with 20 different baby mamas,
different women,
and what? How much time do you get to spend with each one of these kids?
And how healthy is the bonding between that kid and the parents when you have the mother who probably is in that child's life?
But
and
how often is Nick Cannon in their life?
And meanwhile, this guy is he's a literal example of the Temptation song Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Why is it that we are so attracted to drama? That we want to have, like you said earlier, we want to have relationships that don't work out. We want to have the girl that we have affections for single. We want to have the guy that's rapping hard. We want him to be single and basically to have him talk about and probably do bang one woman after another, so that we can have this toxic relationship conversation of men are dogs and women have higher standards.
Yeah.
And both are false. That's the messed up part. Men aren't dogs and women don't all have high standards. Now, some males are, and some females do have high standards. Notice how I said that.
Yes, some.
But you have some. You have two men here. We don't want to have that drama of having other women in our lives. That's a bunch of crap. And we have wives. We're happy, and we're happy with our wives.
I don't need that headache. I don't need that. I don't know how these dudes do it, man. I don't like. My wife is a handful by herself. By herself.
Say that again.
Add another one of those? No. I love myself too much for that.
I did. I love myself too much for that too, man.
The unnecessary drama and headaches and for what? For a piece of nah. I'm good.
No. Yeah, it's not worth it at all, man. I don't remember if I told you.
Call me a sucker. Call me a punk. I don't care.
You can call. I don't give a crap what you label me. You can label me a simp. You can label me weep. You can label me anything you want. You know what you're going to be labeling me as? A man who is becoming rich, who's with a woman who's an entrepreneur and she's rich. And you know what? You're going to be envying that while you're broke behind, wants to be full of drama, and you're praying for every relationship to simply crumble.
Listen, if a chick ain't bringing what wifey bringing to the table, there's nothing
even worth it.
It's not worth it. Like, shorty, like my wife was in the Dominican Republic looking at properties to buy.
Talk about boss chick.
Look, like, why would I want to downgrade? Why? Because you fly? Because you got a bad body? What else you got? What else you bringing to the table?
Because I hate to say it to you, bodies can change.
Yes. With time. Stuff don't stay up the same all the time.
Nope. How you look at 30 is not the same as 50, and it definitely is not the same as 70.
Nope.
So you could try to wow a guy like that, but it just won't happen. If someone like an A$AP Rocky is a beta male, then I guess I'm a beta male too, because you know what? My wife is an entrepreneur, and she is doing very well in the money department. Very well. But you know what? I am doing very well in the money department. She has a business that's thriving. My business is getting ready to thrive. So we're good. So however you want to claim me to be, oh, you subservient to your wife. No. There's times that as a man, I must be a leader. And what a leader does is make sure the others who are under him and not necessarily truly under him, they're with him. And that sometimes sometimes the spotlight's for him, and sometimes the spotlight is for his woman.
Absolutely.
And there's going to be many occasions, and there has been a couple of them in my life, where I had to play the support role, and the spotlight had to shine on my wife. And you know what I was doing? I was the biggest cheerleader in the room.
That's how you got to be.
Yeah. And I don't mind being the biggest cheerleader in the room. So I'm bigging up A$AP Rocky for being the biggest cheerleader in Rihanna's room.
And that's how it has to be.
Yeah. 100%. Doggone simps. It's just ridiculous how they just think. And it's so baseless. It's so baseless and so
stupid.
So, yeah, it's so horrible and so stupid. It's like, really?
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. This is a BS3 Network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Let's Talk Monday. Woo!
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
Welcome back to Mentality, the place where you have walked into the ultimate masculine safe space. With Wize and I'm Cole Johnson, and glad that you were here because we talked about one dynamic that's troubling when it comes to men, and we're going to talk about another right now. And this subject deals with one Morant. Now, understand, we're not coming from a place of judgment. We're actually coming from a place of wisdom. So hopefully, young man Ja can walk with the two of us, and we can sit down and then cast these lessons as we do this under the learning tree. All right, so let's set the stage, shall we? Allegedly, this past summer after the Memphis Grizzlies guard, Morant, was eliminated by the Warriors in May of this past year, he had a basketball pickup game at his house. And one of those people was a 17-year-old boy. And allegedly, Morant pistol whooped this 17-year-old boy, allegedly. This was reported by the Washington Post. Then, after that, we will fast forward to the end of January, where after a game between the Grizzlies and the Indiana Pacers in Indianapolis, apparently an Indiana Pacers party had infrared beams trained at them from off in a distance. And allegedly, in the passenger seat of where the infrared beams were coming from, sat Morant. And then we get to last weekend, where Mr. Morant decided to take a picture of himself, actually decided to take a video of himself, and he went on Instagram Live. And he was quite cozy with a gun rubbed against his cheek. Now, that isn't alleged. That actually is fact, and we saw it. So he's now suspended indefinitely from the NBA and from the Grizzlies, and he has put out a statement last week saying that he is going to take some time and learn how to deal with things. Now, before I open the floor to you about this, it is alleged that he also has alcohol issues. I'm going to say he's addicted to alcohol, but he seems to like what you have actually said, Wize. He seems to lean on alcohol to mask a lot of pain that he's undergoing. So why do you think the pressure has gotten to him so much?
I really don't know. It blows my mind. You got a $200 million contract. You are one of the faces of the NBA. You have a Nike deal. You are one of the most recognizable players in the league.
Yes.
Why are you jeopardizing this to act like you from the hood? To act like you gangster? You trying to live a rapper's lifestyle right now. And a rapper don't even live that lifestyle. Like some of them be faking the funk too at their story. So you want to act like you the thug, like you from the streets. And it just blows my mind that you would risk it all. For what? For what? Because you want to show you gangster? Because you want to show you a man? Like being gangster ain't being a man.
No.
What you're doing is being stupid is less than being a man. You're being a child right now. Like you're doing stuff that yes, I and you come from a home with both parents. So this nonsense about you know what it is to be raised by a single parent. No, you had both of them home.
Right.
You went to a pretty good school.
Yep.
You're not gangster.
I hope that he reaches out to somebody on the team of one Allen Iverson, so he can tell this guy, look, I know what it's like being from the street. I don't consider myself to be gangster. I'm just real and I'm street. And people at the NBA try to paint me to be a thug and try to paint me to be a gangster. I'm not a gangster. I'm just street. But I had many in my clique that was a little gangster. And I could tell you, the people in that clique, in my clique, they weren't good for me. You can nip that in the bud. You don't even have to entertain that.
Listen, if I'm his family, I'm like, yo, you need to cut back on your circle.
Which leads me to this question I'm going to ask. So where is or was his wise counsel in saying something to the effect of, son, you're going a little too far with this crap. You need to ease up on trying to be this studio gangster that you're portraying.
You're trying to portray, yeah.
You know, that's the question. That's the main question I have about this situation. Where's the wise counsel saying, no, man, no, you're going too far, dude. You keep this up. You're going to be this generation's Gilbert Arenas. No, man, stop. He needs to have somebody in that circle. It does not necessarily need to just be T. Heck, it doesn't even have to T, who is his father, T. Morant.
No.
And people are coming out on him saying, well, where's T? He's coming to his games. He's holding the red Solo cup. He didn't pull Ja's coattail. Ja's a grown man. He's 23. I could tell you, at having a father, growing up in a 2-parent home, being 23, my father told me many things, and I bypassed a lot of it. So if that's the case with me, I know that's what Ja was doing, and I know T is probably saying, dude, son, you shouldn't go that route. And I'm sure he probably said to his old man, Pops, I got this, man. I love you, thank you, but you don't have to worry about me. I got this. It doesn't mean that T didn't say this to Ja. Ja was a grown man.
Yeah.
Why does Morant feel that his internal masculinity is threatened? Because that's the vibe I get.
Who knows? Like, I don't have a clue of why he would think, like, dude, you have it all right now. You on top of the world. You're one of the top players in the NBA.
Yeah.
You have a big contract. You have endorsements.
You have respect from your peers.
Why would you want to risk that? Like, I don't understand. Like, why would you think that any of this gangster bull is worth it?
How can he grow from being so fearful and so paranoid into actually owning his manhood and saying, you know what, I'm I don't really feel the need to want to put forth images that's supposed to intimidate other people. I just want to be me.
Just said it. Just be you. That's just why do you need to be something that you're not? Like I don't get it. I don't understand. Like just go be John Morant, play ball, enjoy your family because you have a child, and enjoy life, man. What you're yes, with the money comes responsibilities. Yes,
Of course.
But you're playing a game you love to play and getting paid millions,
tens of millions a year. You get paid tens of millions a
That's
year.
just from the NBA. We're not counting what the endorsements
that's
is
just
paying
the
you.
contract, right? That's just from the contract, right?
Dude, I hope you do seek the help that you need.
You need it.
Hopefully, maybe some player, maybe someone who Steven Jackson, somebody, anyone who knows, let him know. Not Gilbert Arenas, because Gilbert Arenas is still an idiot right now.
Yes, but don't seek his help, because all they want to do is use you to basically pump his own ego up. No, don't.
I've been watching him do the podcasting circuit, but yeah, don't seek his help. Find someone who knows, man. Like Steven Jackson would be a great person to speak to, because he talks about not knowing about financial wealth and not knowing about like generational wealth and all this other stuff, and really doing stupid shit with. He's someone you can learn from. Go get yourself some mentors, man.
And now, thoughts from the throne. Each king has 2 minutes to dispense whatever wisdom he may have. And with that, sir, I cede the floor to you, King. The floor is yours.
All right. I wasn't even prepared for this week's thought from the throne, but oh man. Okay, so this nonsense about labeling men alpha, betas. Let's stop this, please. Like, listen, who has made the definition of what a masculine male is? Who's the authority that has said that this is what a man is, or this is what a man is supposed to be? Because I would like to meet that person. I would like to know what is their true definition of what a man is. Because there's so many different sides, and there's so many different people. Listen, let's just stop this. Man, we're all different. We're all men, yes. But let's stop with these labels, man. Like, just be yourself. Be you. Be who you are, and that will show what kind of man you are. Be you. Stop allowing people to label you. Why do you want to be labeled? Or why does anyone want to be labeled? So I'm done with labels. So that's all I got to say, man. Just stop it, please.
Yeah. We have to own being unique.
Yeah,
that's really it's all about. I agree with you, man. Totally agree with you. Well, it's time for me to be transparent. It's time for me to be vulnerable. And it's time for me to be in full disclosure mode. So this past week, I got into an argument with my wife, and it was really over something really silly. So my work has been a mixed bag. It's been great at some points and extremely testy at others. And so she asked me a question about the testy side of the job, and I was being dismissive. But when she called me on it, I was being even more dismissive, and I was being blockheaded about it. And because of that blockheadedness, we went to bed angry. I don't blame her for that. I brought her to anger. So I blame me for that. So the very next day, I did everything I possibly could to let her know, yes, I was at fault. I'm sorry. And I was wrong. And if you could forgive me, I'd be grateful. But you were correct. So my advice to you is when you actually are being a blockhead, don't dig deeper because you'll only make matters worse. Own up to your mistakes because only a woman only wants to love you, especially a wife. And thank you, wifey, for loving me. I appreciate that. And I love you. So take care of your wives and don't bring them to wrath and don't bring them to anger. And that's Thoughts from the Throne. All right, man. Any parting words before we break camp and go get out of here?
No, not really. Good episode as always.
Yeah. This
Had a
went
good time.
this went exactly as I thought. I fully enjoyed I fully enjoyed doing this with you, period. But I enjoyed this episode for sure. And we hope that you enjoyed this too. Look, like, share, subscribe wherever you find this, whether it is on Coleman Media Incorporated on YouTube or Real Wise TV on YouTube or any other places, starting with Snowman Multimedia on YouTube. It will be worth your while.
And the BS3 network as well. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
And yes, starting this week.
Next Thursday?
I think so. Mentality will now be on TV. That's right. BS3 Network will pick us up and it will air 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. Mentality on Thursday. Thank you.
Yes.
Every Thursday you can catch this episode and every episode thereafter.
Yes.
So now Mentality, thanks to you guys, is now on TV. Thank you guys for being such wonderful supporters of this brand, because we are doing this for men, about men, because after all, we are men.
Yes, sir.
And with that, we thank you so much for joining us. We totally appreciate you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and viewing or listening to this and every episode. And as we say always in parting, our secret technique is that we always speak with mentality. See you next week.
Peace.
That's 100.